Why it sucks to be a bounty hunter. You come into the galaxy choking on heat that smells like burnt oil and old noodles. Your first breath stolen not by wonder, but by a vent above you that's been coughing recycled air for so many years it probably remembers faces. And instead of a sunrise, there's only the flicker of a neon sign outside your window, sputtering like it's deciding whether to die today or tomorrow. You're not born under twin suns or inside marble halls. You're born on Narada, the smuggler's moon, where the stars aren't hidden by clouds. They're erased by smog so thick it might as well be paint slapped across the dome of the sky. Your first home is a single room you can cross in 4 steps if you try, with a door that sticks like it's holding its breath, a window that doesn't close no matter how you shove at it, and a ceiling light that hums in the voice of a dying droid. The tap spits more rust than water, and when it finally does produce something drinkable, you still stare at it for a while wondering what else is floating in there. Out in the hallway, the air smells like fried food someone swore they'd finish, ozone from an ancient generator that hasn't been serviced since the Clone Wars, and that quiet, dangerous tension you only notice after growing up around it. Your mother runs parcels for crews who don't use names, never telling you what's inside the packages, but teaching you without saying it that whatever it is, you don't ask. Your father exists mostly in rumor and a pair of boots he once left behind. Eye contact here isn't a sign of confidence, it's an invitation to get tested. And loud kids get noticed for all the wrong reasons, while quiet kids get to eat. Narada doesn't raise children, it sharpens them, and if you're lucky, you get to be the one holding the edge. The moon becomes your first teacher. You learn the sound of trouble before you can read the heavy, certain steps of boots that aren't afraid of you, the hiss of a blaster safety flicking off, the low growl of a speeder engine that's too close for too long. You learn how to cross sky bridges without rails and without looking down, how to disappear into a crowd without being touched, and how to feel the exact moment when a friendly conversation turns into a setup. Names float through the noise like ghosts. Boba Fett, Cad Bane, Aura Singh. You never meet them, but you learn what their names do to a room. Fett makes people leave drinks half finished. Bane makes people shift their stance like they're about to run. Singh makes them glance at rooftops. You figure out the truth quick. The best hunters aren't feared because of what they can do. They're feared because they might already be here. Your first job isn't glamorous. You crawl through a vent in the back of a loading dock, pop a latch from the inside, and keep your mouth shut while a Trandoshan dock boss lets in people who matter more than you. Payment is a handful of credits and half a ration bar, which you eat slowly because you don't know when the next one's coming. That's when Vito finds you, a wiry Rhodian with eyes like cracked glass. He likes that you move quiet and listen more than you talk. First you carry his bag, then he shows you how to strip a cheap carbine without losing the spring, how to wipe a scope clean with your sleeve when you're out of cloth, and how to stand in a doorway without looking like you're afraid of it. 3 things you hunt, he tells you, one night over a bad cafe. Information, patience, a ship. You nod like you have all 3, even though the only one you're sure about is patience. One day he slides a bounty puck across the table. Blue hollow, numbers, location. Enough credits to make you think about leaving the moon. The job takes 30 seconds. Step in, stun, bind, and call it in. Easy. For the first time, you start to think maybe this life could be more than just surviving. Your first solo puck is a spice runner who owes the huts. You chase him across a rain-slick skybridge, down a stairwell that leans like it's tired of standing, into a block that smells like burned wiring and wet rust. You drag him back, breathing, which earns you credits that still reek of the palace they come from. That's when you learn 2 things. Paid doesn't mean clean, and clean doesn't mean safe. You buy yourself a jacket thick enough to maybe stop a glancing shot, boots that don't squeak, and a rifle whose scope works when it feels like it. You also learn to keep your answers short. Eventually, Narada spits you out. because it always does. You land on Tatooine, where heat wraps around you like a punishment. The sun's watching from above like they own you, and the towns look like they were built from sand and stubbornness. Water here isn't a drink, it's a currency. Jobs are simple to explain, but hard to survive. Drag a debtor out of a cantina where the band's been playing the same song for a decade, track a swoop gang across dunes that erase your footprints as you make them, collect on promises whispered in the dark and broken before dawn. You take credits up front, keep your back to a wall, and call yourself neutral, because it sounds better than hungry. After a few good runs, you get a ship, or rather, you inherit someone else's problem. A battered freighter with an engine that coughs like it's dying and a ramp that sticks when it rains. You name her the Black Fang, because luck comes easier when your ship sounds like it has teeth. Hyperspace turns the stars into white lines that hum in your bones, and for a moment, you believe you've left Nar Shaddaa behind. Your route becomes a triangle. Nar Shaddaa for deals, Tatooine for debts, Gorse for jobs that pay in whispers. Gorse smells like ash and fatigue, its bells marking time better than the days, and its tunnels carry their own weather. The miners look toward the exit before they look at you, and you respect that honesty's rare out here. Then one day a puck lands on your table. High price, low detail, Imperial stamp. Enough credits to fix your ship, your teeth, and maybe even your future. You track the target into Gorse's maintenance guts, the air tasting of sparks. They're clutching a data core, claiming it's proof the Empire's working miners to death. They offer you double to walk away. Vito's voice in your head says, don't think, act. But you do think. You crush the puck under your boot and point them toward a ladder. Word moves faster than ships. Nar Shaddaa hears. Tatooine hears. Gorse probably knew before you made orbit. The good jobs vanish. What's left comes from people with smiles you can hear before you see them. The Black Fang rattles harder every jump, and you keep telling her, soon, like you mean it. Then the guild calls. Code breach. One of ours. The Hollow spins a younger you in another body. Orders, alive, quiet. The trail winds from Nar Shaddaa to Gorse, ending in a canyon where the wind shreds sound. You see then a grin you recognize, the same restless look you once had. Guild business, you call. Same, they answer. And that's it. Blasters talk first. Sparks leap from the rock. Your shoulder plate rings. You close in, trading knife for blaster. You cut their cheek. They burn your ribs. For a moment, it's almost fun, until you remember the cost. Their bolt finds the gap in your jacket. You drop, staring up at a strip of pale sky between stone. They hesitate, just losing enough for you to shake your head. Don't. They don't hesitate twice. Heat, light, quiet. Dust tasting of metal. Nar Shaddaa's rail-less bridges. Tatooine's endless suns. Gorse's bells in the dark. Faces drift past Fett's shadow. Bane's hat sings stare. You weren't them, but you lasted longer than most. You don't ask if it was worth it. That answer changes. You just wonder if anyone will pause when they hear your name. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Either way, the moons will still hang over Nar Shaddaa. The band will still play the same song in the same cantina, and somewhere, some kid will still learn to cross a bridge with no rails and no fear. That's the price. That's the loop. That's the lesson. And that's why it sucks to be a bounty hunter.